Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Kerbal Space Center. My opinion of Kerbal Space Center has drastically improved since we started playing Science Mode. We now are kind of... what were we gonna work? We're probably still gonna end this series once we get to the moon. I think it pretty much proves that we can do it if we can get to the moon. So let's Uh, I'd like to get some more science, sure, but we may very well not. We may very much just decide that on what we have right now, the parts that we have might be good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna take a medium fuel tank and the smallest thrust, that's 60, which is 200, that's 215, that's 600, that's 250. Alright, so the Terrier is the smallest one. I'm making an attempt at making a lander here. Let's see. Put our standard array of things, and I'll even put these tools a little bit further from the door, since I always make the mistake of having it too close to the door. I will put a communitron on it too. Not that I want to do that. I'm just going to take it with us in case. Now, do we have the mobile processing lab? We could certainly use this. The service bay. Have all those items in there. Try and protect them better. If I was better at this game and wanted to play more cautiously, I would probably do that. But I don't see a real reason. It does seem like we have not unlocked the mobile processing lab at all. See, if I hit save here, I'm going to override the untitled spacecraft. That's why you're supposed to always retitle them. Yeah, in particular without the mobile processing, yeah, which we don't have, we would need several more things to get that. About 70 more science. There's... let's see, we do want to take, like, more than one guy. However, you could theoretically just have 3 of these right in a row. Not ideal. We have, I believe, the hitchhiker. I thought I saw it. Here it is. Hitchhiker storage container. And so, since that's there, we will put a... let's see. How do I want to do this? It's probably too small now. Can I put the other fuel tanks? I don't have any of the other fuel tanks. So again, it would be just stuck with this. Let's put our landing legs on. up and down these things. Do I not have any landing gears? Yes, I have just the micro. Well, at that point, I definitely need the maximum. Oops. They kind of clip through. So when we extend that, notice we are barely an inch above that. That's not going to stop. It's not going to protect us very well as far as landing. If we can make it to the moon, which is a big if, huge if right there. Battery packs, we'll just put a big old chunk of battery packs since we don't care how much things cost. There's no reason to not put battery packs. Parachutes, sure, we'll put a bunch of parachutes. That should be more than enough. You can even get really complicated and try and put like a detachable rover that would be able to get out of the service bay and back in. If we had a slightly bigger service bay, that would be a lot more feasible. Do we have solar panels? I believe we do. That's parachutes. Why not? Actually, it definitely seems like we don't. So, lots of batteries, and the only way we can charge our batteries is through the system of our engine burning. That's not great. Definitely not a great system. Let's find the stack separators. Stack decoupler. Now we put our biggest engine here with a couple of those, and then let's find our center of gravity and put our radial decouplers. Let's see. We have radial decouplers now. Is that going to be on the door? We don't want it on the hatch. We don't really want them on that point. We want them towards the center of the gravity, but we will see if this works. I don't think it is. And then kickbacks. And that's definitely not going to work. Next to the parachutes. There we go. Let's zoom out. Put some nice little aerodynamic nose cones on here. Why not? We've got a massive amount of thrust we're gonna have. We're gonna hope this thing launches us well into the atmosphere. Put this on this stage. Give this its own stage. And then let's see, who do we have? We have Bob and Bill, and let's find the pilot. We're gonna move him, Jeffrey. So we got scientist and engineer, scientist, and another that's 5 guys. But before I do that, I want to see, save and exit and see if the astronauts. I've come back and reloaded the game. Doesn't feel like Jebediah or Valentina are coming back. Interesting. That's certainly something that's never been the case before. Alright, I think we're ready to try this launch. We are short on parts. We are somewhat short on opportunities to get more science. We are short on kind of time. I mean, I have other series that I need to do, so sitting here and forever isn't probably the best thing I should be doing. But we're gonna see if we can get to the moon. If we get to the moon on this episode, then it's gonna be a great example of how it was a lot easier. Now notice we're almost to 400. It seems like we're getting the same drag with or without these. I don't think these work yet. If this is reducing the drag, it's maybe doing it a little. We are up to 600 at this point. This is just the maximum amount of thrust we could possibly have done. Look at this, we're at 1200 meters per second. That is way too high. We are in the red zone. If the game wasn't ignoring G-forces, every single one of those guys would be dead by now. So this is always weird. It's just that they're just gonna bump out of their way, knock into you. Now, I imagine in the real world, if these things bumped into you, even though your relative speed is almost exactly the same, you'd have some troubles. But that's not the case here. We are already in outer space. Big time. Question is, how high did this thing rocket us? This thing rocketed us up to 242. Let's see. 242 apoaxis. More than enough to get to our target of the moon. So that is the target. We are now modifying this maneuver to come in contact with the moon. And let's see what we can do. Now we, for the first time in the science thing, seen a parapsis of 3 meters. That is not unnecessary parapsis. That's actually quite bad. This is definitely just we're showing our force. Here, no, I don't want to do that. Probably don't. At least maybe rotate this a little bit this way so that we can. We're trying to get these 2 encounter points. Target position closest approach. When we get those 2 next to each other, I mean, that right there was an escape trajectory that would have had us not be in orbit. So now we're slowing and rotating. Speeding up. Nope. Let's see. Making a huge mess of it. Well, we're almost to this point. I think our best bet is to just get a stable orbit. So let's just do this. This is what you would normally do. Is you'd want just a stable orbit. Get that parapsis up. That's at 45. That's at 68. It needs to be at least 70. There. So that's what we're going to target now. So we have the maneuver position. We have the burn. Let's watch what happens. So we have a good pilot. We can just have the SAS with the good pilot lock onto the maneuver. We could also try to burn directly towards the target, which is the moon, which would be silly. We can see we're going here. Question is, will we have enough fuel? I think we will. It might be a smart idea not to continue on this path because we're getting further and further away from our apoaxis. Slowing down might also help with this. But if we don't do anything, remember we are going to crash back into the planet, so we definitely don't want that. Being a bit more fuel efficient would be nice. Let's see. Let's see. Prograde. I'll modify it so that I just burn prograde, which is almost what we were doing. Our maneuver was a little bit wrong. And that is the end of our fuel. We don't have a lot of fuel left. We are lighter. We're burning at prograde. The last bit of our fuel. Remember, we are in the very weak engine. It's not going to provide a lot of thrust. But we shouldn't have to worry too much about that if we can get into an orbit and still have some fuel. Maybe I should just use a solid rocket. One kickback right in the middle, pointed towards the horizon, might very nicely just put us into an orbit, a stable orbit at least. This one has failed. This flight has failed. We're only a few meters, maybe a few thousand meters above the atmosphere. That is an air brake maneuver, a very sharp one. I will start getting below 70,000 and hitting the atmosphere. That would slow me down, and we can just show it. We'll just speed up. As we get here, we're just going to slow down, and this point here is going to get lower and lower, and we are going to crash back into the planet. We won't make it back. As we get closer, we can't speed up anymore. So you're going to watch these numbers drastically get lower and lower. And so we've effectively messed this up. See, crashing. Now we're back into landing on the planet. And we'll probably land about halfway between here and there. Deploying all those parachutes way too early. Let's see if any of those survived. Nope. Every single parachute crashed. Let's see. If we tell it to go the other way and extend the gears, we're crashing straight down. These little legs would not protect us. Trying to land hard on your landing gears is not going to work. So, what is the thrust of a kickback? That's the question. 670? Sweet. I think a kickback might be too much. What if we just put a thumper? Like right there. Zoom in here real tight. Drag this thing down. Is it sliding back up? I grab it. Trying to lock on. Yeah, it slides back up. Okay, so that's not gonna work. We'll have to zoom out here. Come on, zoom out. There we go. One thumper on the base. And then all these kickbacks. Interesting. I've never tried to use a solid rocket to get into orbit. Definitely a new experience for me. Remember to turn on the SAS and all that. We might as well set the moon as our target. Get this all up. It's almost symmetrical. So that's going to again get us at a major height, way higher than what you normally would get at. So my thought is to point just towards the target, just towards the moon. And when we get up there, burn. Just burn that thumper straight towards the moon. Potentially get an escape velocity. Let's do a crew report. Nothing here. Let's log some temperature. Nothing. Log pressure data. Nothing. Let's see. Observe the materials bay. A little bit of science there. And then we need Bob when he's ready to do an EVA. So, EVA time, Bob. You're going super fast, but climb up these ladders to the point where we can hopefully manipulate this. If you get just to the edge, if he lets go, which he will, he's in trouble. So now we are in the horrible position that we don't want to be in. Let's collect data and recover, restore it. Now, we're trying to get to the grab part. If we can grab, you can get back in. But even that was a pretty great thing. Now, I don't think we are at we're still considered space near Kerbal. We're almost to the point. We want to point towards the target, which is the moon, right? Yep. And this is going to be interesting. Very, very interesting way to do it. Let's see, we are 1 minute away. I think that is, I've heard people say 30 seconds away from the point is where you want to go, but 1 minute sounds good to me. This is be very interesting. Use a solid rocket. Will it have enough thrust? Did it really need to be a kickback if it was going to be doing this? We are sort of going towards our retrograde? Isn't that what that is? Let's see. No, that's the prograde. So we're sort of burning towards that? I think we just ran out of fuel though. Yes, we did. Now we're using the last bit of our fuel. Interesting. Would twice as long of a burn gotten us to where we want to go? I'm having a hard time believing it. I'm thinking maybe we do a second ring of thumpers. Just really shoot this thing off. That would be probably not necessary. Now, if I want to do anything that would have me crash into the, not crash into the ocean, I'd have to actually be burning past above the horizon here. Or, I suppose, if you get enough speed, you can get an exit trajectory. If I do a second ring of thumpers, that would definitely just have us going so fast, we would probably skip the moon completely. Let's see. It's an interesting attempt, though. I like the concept enough to try it, even though it's really silly. So, radial decouplers. station there, and let's see, a second ring of kickbacks. This ought to be interesting. Right, we have this outer ring of kickbacks, and then this ring of these, and then this inner ring of kickbacks. So that'd be interesting. A massive amount of rockets being used here. And the zoom bug, they need to always reset the zoom. Yeah, we think this is gonna work? This looks stable, right? Here we go. It's always, when they spin, it's always pretty cool. So what's that going to get us to? Barely higher than where we are. We're about to start falling at 8,000. So is that really worth it? Is it really worth it to get 8,000 feet before you burn your second pair? We are burning at a bit of an angle now, whereas the first time the kickbacks would shoot us straight up, and that was kind of the problem. As we're watching the burn here, we're going more and more in a more circular fashion. At this point, it could easily, let's see, set as target. Now we have this whole problem of we will get to space, fine, but we've got to now try to accomplish something. Let's see. This maneuver is going to be in 5 minutes, and we've got to just try and rotate it. Is that the right way to rotate it, or is the other way the right way to rotate it? I don't know which one would be easier or better. I think I want to rotate it this way. Probably don't, though. Let's try this way. Alright, that'll get us there. That's not what we want to do. We want to keep on rotating this. That'll get us right out of the galaxy. Let's see, we're getting close approaches now. Let's see. Keep that rotating. We pointed the absolute wrong direction. Right. Well, that looks like that would be about the best we could do right now. Maybe we could adjust it from that point. So we've got a maneuver. We're ready to fire. These rockets are coming along for the ride, at least for a while. The point of these two approaches is to have them right on top of each other so that you would be really, really close to each other. Particularly when you're dealing with something that has just so little gravity as a moon. If you were dealing with something that had a lot of gravity, this might be close enough that you could do something about it. Let's see, how far are we from the approach now? 3 minutes. Let's see. Actually, I think I'd be better off burning right about now. So let's try it. Towards the maneuver, trying to rotate this thing and turn it into an orbit that we can actually do something with. Our modification did not help us any. It only hurt. Only hurt. There we go. So, get rid of that. Start our burn. See if we can do what we intend to do. And max burn. What the peak we have, which probably not. Could wait. Speed up. Do some more burning there. Wait. Speed up. Just more burning. That would be the most energy efficient plan. Real evidence that more rockets at a certain point does not help. We're having a bit of trouble, but not terrible. We are limited in parts. It is very obvious we're limited in parts. So let's see. Get rid of this. Put a kickback on the base here. So these, then this. Get ready to launch. Might have trouble launching this one. It may just very well fall over, bouncing on one thing. I don't even have the launch stability system, which is set as target, but focus on Kerbal. You can focus by double clicking, and let's see. Prograde, retrograde, target. So I just want to focus my SAS directly on my target. So And now it's pointing me towards the moon. Where is it? Come on, lock on target. You are the target. No, I want to make a maneuver. A prograde maneuver. A maneuver like this. A maneuver like this. A prograde. Maneuver like, nope, like this. A bit like this. Probably too much there. Zoom out a little bit. Prograde. Alright. Let's just burn towards the horizon. The eastern horizon. Here we go. Stability assist. Do I not have a pilot? Come on. Maybe it's just really difficult to turn my vehicle because it's so long and pretty heavy. Here we go. We're trying to shoot right here. Nope. Too far. Too far. Too far. Too far. I'm falling now. I'm falling. I took too long. Just get above the horizon. In any direction above the horizon at this point. And fire. And use that ability to burn towards the target. Now I'm going too high. Now, stability assist. Well, we're trying here. Well, with that, we're out. And boy, is it easier to control this thing once that is gone. Once that rocket's gone, it is definitely easier to keep that thing on. Keep the ship in line. We can burn our fuel again. Do we need more fuel and a stronger rocket? Probably a swivel engine, something we can control, something that would really help us get into an orbit. Or burn Ideally, you'd want like a nuclear engine, something that's very efficient after you get in orbit. Let's see. And that's our fuel again. Alright. Revert to vehicle assembly. Notice I'm saying the word fuel a lot. It is the main concern. Alright. So, take this off. Take this away. And give me... I did 2 before. I'm gonna do 4 now. And then pick the engine. More reasonable engine for rough economic times. Smaller sibling of the mainsail, the skipper's power rivals that of large cities. This would be powerful. This would be not. I'm just gonna go with the swivel here. And then turn up our max rotation. Alright. Let's try this. Didn't look at any of the stages. And we zoom back in. Probably will not fix that bug. It probably won't fix it. So that one's not gonna work. We'll revert to launch a second time and see. Sometimes you can just quickly do something like this, and that will be enough to get you off the ground. So your weight's not on the whatever engine or otherwise that's breaking you. With this more fuel, how high will we get? That is the question. Watch those G-forces go up. Red zone. Deadly G-forces. There we are. So, that's gonna get us to 100 and something. Right there. So, in theory, once we get up to 70, let's get this thing pointed in the right direction towards east, and we will start burning directly towards the eastern horizon. We're almost there. Let's just get in position. Let's see. There we go. Set that as the target, and we are burning towards the horizon, directly towards the horizon. That is kind of slowing us down, interestingly enough, but whatever. We need to widen this. Just get into a stable orbit. We have not gotten into a stable orbit in an efficient amount of time. Fuel. Yet. Let's look at our fuel consumption. I think it's taking too long. I think I need to throttle up and burn at the max. Slowly our prograde is coming in line. Widening out all of this. Well, will we have enough fuel on this burn to get into orbit? Hopefully. Will we then have enough fuel to adjust a stable orbit to the moon on this burn? Doesn't look like there are great chances of that. It might be wise that we go into the research and development facility and see if there's something else they can buy for us, something else that we could get for more fuel, a better engine, something. One more piece of the puzzle that would actually help. Hey, this looks like it might make it. We just ran out of fuel. Let's see. So our target is getting closer. I kind of want to just burn very slowly. Yeah, let's try this. Let's quick save and just burn slowly. We are, I don't know if we're burning at all now. It's like we're getting closer and closer to trying to align the moon target up with the horizon of Kerbal, so that we are both in an orbit, maybe a stable one, and in a position. We still haven't gotten that, perhaps we still haven't gotten that little piece. As we speed up here. Notice it's knocking us off our target. Let's lock in on our target now and start burning. Well, we're gonna get into a stable orbit. Stay locked on target. This is crawling back to us. Let's see. It's time to warp here and then lock on target and burn from this point. I don't want to burn in the middle of this. That's got me going straight up, though, and that's not gonna work. Let's see. Prograde is where I need to be burning. might have made a mistake there, but does feel like we can do this. It does feel like we can do this. Let's see. What did this quick save leave us? Let's see. I wanna just stay prograde and be burning. And let's see, if we just burn prograde at the lowest, we may not even make it to a stable orbit then. Are we burning at all? Yeah, never even made it to a parapsis there. Think we need to speed up. Let's see, hold down that quick load. Let's see. Prograde and speed her up. That's the maximum. Maybe my engine is just not strong enough. Maybe I need the mainsail instead of the swivel. One big burst of thrust. If I can just even get this within similar of the moon. We might have to go into several orbits, but we would eventually do it. So yeah, this is not gonna work. And now we're stuck in the space. And let's see, quick load, and can't revert flight when you quick load, so we gotta land this now. We gotta land this or we're gonna end up killing our last 4 things. We can't revert. We can't go back. This one's gonna have to stick. So let's see what we can do. We can have storage bay and EVA and then board and then mystery goo and space near it. That was something, at least. Log pressure data is nothing. Log temperature high above this. Oh yes. So let's get a crew report from high above space. Let's have Bob come out again, and he's going to do an EVA report from high above space. Now he's gonna walk up here and we're gonna try and reset and restore this. Alright. So alright. collect data and restore. Nope, you got too far away. We also want to collect data and then restore. This is incredibly difficult, by the way. Observe materials bay while we're here. And let's see. The wise thing to do is to collect the data and restore even for these experiments, because then if it breaks off, sort of mystery goo, collect data and restore, and then take data, log temperature, log temperature. No, I want him to take the data. Oh, he's falling behind here. He's running into the unit. We're about to lose vertical thrust on this thing, and as such, I think I'll just, I'm not gonna push it anymore. Just gonna try and grab on and get back in. Log pressure data. We didn't collect that one. Log temperature. You already got that one. We'll do the mystery goo again. From high, space high, open that. So materials bay. That. Crew report. Crew report. You can get 2 crew reports since you have 2 crew units here. So that was good. Let's quick save that. Now we gotta land this thing. Let's go ahead and just warp here. Let's see, we want to be retrograde. We have all these batteries for no reason. We could transmit data. We are traveling very, very fast. And we are near, probably should have slowed down right about here. So when is the right time to start trying to slow us down? I think now is the right time. Well, honestly, I think here would have been the right time. Slowing us down so that we were getting, it gets to the point where you're falling straight down and you'd think that that would be the wrong move, but it really, I don't think it is. This debris is gonna crash, I assume. Unless somehow the debris got into a stable orbit and I didn't. That would be a kick in the pants. You can use this as a good example of where you're gonna land. We might land in a new biome too. Some new surface samples, some more science. All of that might be helpful. Well, that's the end of our fuel. Did that help any? At the very least, it got rid of the fuel, so we won't, are less likely in real world terms to blow up. Now we're hitting that atmosphere, and now we start the path downward, just dragging as we go faster and faster. Stick those legs out. They might help. Little green LEDs. It often does help to put lights on your ship. Actually, having your ship uh, lit up makes it easier to see. So we're burning through this. We're at 19, 17, 16, 15, 14. I hit the button on accident. All the parachutes deployed. We've got nothing. We've got nothing. So what was destroyed here? All the batteries were destroyed. Not a huge loss there. That will give us at least a good example of what not to do. And we're coming down now at 120 meters per second. And just trying to not point straight down and destroy ourselves. And that's exactly all we can do. Think everything's broken or I have Alright, so let's quickly go retrograde and burn. We aren't even at the apoaxis yet, and I'm trying to slow down. If I don't go as high, I won't end up landing as I won't have as much gravity pulling me for as long. Well, this probably is actually the same amount of gravity would be pulling me, but the thought would be it'll help. So definitely doing the opposite of making an orbit here when you're doing, because that's what we're attempting here, is to do the opposite of making an orbit. We're trying to, let's see, now fast forward, we got all the science, and now we are in, let's see, now we're coming down. Looks like we're gonna come down in the middle of the ocean, so the landing legs are gonna be useless. So wait for all the explosions. Maybe 10,000. Wait for all the fire to go away. We're at 7,000. There we go. Alright. So will this be able to slow us down? Ideally we would want to either land on our feet or land on our side? I think we want to land on our side. Let's wait till the parachutes fully deploy, which is going to be a little while. Speed this up a little bit, even though you really shouldn't speed things up when you're doing maneuvers. Really shouldn't speed things up at all. Speeding it up changes the physics in such a weird way that things happen differently than how they would have happened normally. So it's there. So we're coming down head first. Let's see if we can cut some parachutes now. If I cut more, I'll land on the feet. If I leave it here, I'll have 4 parachutes all trying to keep me balanced. Let's do one more. There we go. So we may hit hard on the storage container here. We want to do any crew reports? Nope. Let's see. Take the pressure. Nope. Wanna find that thermometer and nope. One last opportunity for a crew report. Let's send out Bob to an EVA. Take a surface sample, sure. Do an EVA report, nothing. And I don't think Bob is going to be able to get back in. Oh well, we'll recover Bob. And get his surface sample science for 3. And then we will go back to our space center and we will recover the spacecraft that has landed. And we got 128 science earned there. And all of our astronauts back. This debris is going to take a little bit longer to crash. We'll collect it if it still exists. So, we're having a problem there. We need fuel tanks. We need these bigger fuel tanks, I think. We are at the point where we could get this and get the mobile processing thing, but it's not going to help us any. We're trying to go to the moon. Because we're trying to go to the moon, we need this. Let's see. So unlock this one, and we could have unlocked this too. We could have got some better engines, but I think we've done right. Let's see. Better landing struts for 90. We could try that. And some better wheels. That would be what I would waste it on. But you know what else I'm going to waste it on? I'm going to get some solar panels. Because that will help. So now we have a couple of extra pieces if we load from the autosave ship. We can now use wide fuel tank. Instead of having 4 of these fuel tanks, we can just have, say, 3 of these, and then use a skipper here. And that will definitely make a different system go. A whole different system setup with this rocket build. So that's what we're going to try again next time. To the moon. We're going to see if what this change here that we've done with a bigger rocket and more fuel probably made it a lot more heavier. But we're going to see if that is what we needed to get to the moon. However, we have hit the end of this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can do that by clicking on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media site, there are links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.